Hey, and welcome back to Summit Railway. Today we are in the workshop and right behind me, back there, is today's project. Let me introduce you to the RhB Ge 44-1. Here it is. And what can I tell you? I have fallen in love with this locomotive. It is manufactured by RhB. I've owned it for almost 2 years. And in my opinion, it looks good. It is pretty strong. And you can run it with any of the Russian Railways rolling stock. But obviously there are a few things I don't like about it as well. First and foremost, the RhB electronics inside and the headlights. The cold white LEDs for the headlights, I'd love to change them into warm white LEDs so that we can get a nicely shining warm LED light. There's something else I want to show you before we get started. Right now this locomotive is able to lift and lower the pantographs via the decoder, and it won't be able to do that once I'm finished because I don't see a use for that. But I can show you one last time how it looks. Yeah, that's it. Of course, it is not quite synchronized with the sound because I'm running it in analog mode, but you get the idea. I have flipped the locomotive upside down in order to remove the screws on the bottom of it, and now it is time to flip the locomotive right side up. And now we should be able to remove the upper portion of the locomotive. Oh yeah, we need to be really careful about those brake lines. Okay, fixed it. Okay, lift the locomotive. Why are those wires? Oh yeah, okay. I made it. Let's remove the wiring between the bottom and the top portion so that we can work with them independently. This should be very easy right now because RhB puts in those nice little plugs, which we are not going to use anymore. Going forward, I want to remove the decoder, the speaker and the pantograph servo motors. I will also have a look into the LED placement since I want to switch them with warm white LEDs. And once I've gutted this whole locomotive, we can start from ground zero and work our way up to the new decoder. The locomotive is completely gutted right now. You can see it is empty as heck. Only wires left over are the truck supply wires. And down here we've got some plastic pieces which go on the inside of the roof. And then we've got front LEDs, red and white. Unfortunately, they are mounted onto a circuit board, which I don't like very much, but I can deal with it anyways. This is the upper front light and the cap light. And of course we got those for each side. When you compare these two circuit boards, there is not much of a difference unless I supply power to them. And now it should be pretty clear. The right circuit board has light bulbs and the left circuit board has the standard LEDs. I hope this shows on camera. In real life it's a huge difference. We can turn them around. I also changed the interior cap light. That's my solution for this problem. Now I need to change those LEDs and those LEDs. And where is the other one? Oh, there it is. I have to change these LEDs as well. Another update on the light bulb situation. I totally forgot that I wanted to install the high beams as well. Those are the two lights which correspond to this contraption. I've gone ahead and installed the upper headlights in combination with the cap lights, both sides tested and ready to go. Down here we got the lower headlights changed to light bulbs. The red tail lights are standard from the factory. I haven't changed anything about that. Both sides are done. And now I've decided to put the speaker right here. I mean, it looks like it is supposed to go here. I also will mount the decoder up here on the roof, because most of my wiring is inside the upper part of the locomotive, and it only makes sense to put the decoder in the upper part of the locomotive. Before it was mounted on the lower part right here. This is obviously not the original speaker, but it's the one I will use, and it should go right here. I can't use the pre-manufactured holes, they won't fit. But luckily it seems like I can make it work by using my own screws and drilling my own holes. So let's start right here. Okay, time to mount the speaker. The wire connections will show in this direction, since here is the decoder. So we always go the shortest way possible. And then I've got those tiny screws. I will use a washer on each side. The speaker is mounted properly. The screws are a little bit too long, but I can always cut them. But I don't think they interfere with anything, so I might as well leave them like they are. For the decoder, I will use different bolts and some distance pieces so that we will have a gap between the decoder and the plastic piece. There we go, the decoder is mounted. We got a nice gap between the plastic piece and the decoder. And I've used 4 screws to mount it, but obviously 2 would have been sufficient as well. That's really good progress so far. Now we are basically ready to reinstall the lights and those plastic pieces. Maybe I will connect 2 wires to the speaker, that might help. But other than that, we are ready to reassemble. This project is coming along very well. The decoder is fully installed, the lights are connected and tested, and the speaker is connected as well. The last connections missing are the track and the motor connections from the lower body into the decoder. I need to lengthen those wires and I need to reinstall the weights. Set and done. Very nice. I have prepared these Wago clamps with double-sided tape, and now we can position them and glue them in place. Something like that. Now we have 4 different clamps because we have 4 different sources of power. We have power pickup left and right track, and we have motor left and right track, which adds up to 4 clamps. Let's start connecting the wires. I have repurposed this hole in the weight block, and now I can simply feed the wire inside the clamp. snap the clamp shut, and that's basically it. Let's continue with the second wire. And that's about the whole process. So let me continue with all the other wires and I will bring you up to speed when I'm done with that. The wiring is all done. We have both bogies connected and the connection to the decoder. I kind of like this flexible wire conduit. It makes it nice and clean. And I have called my friend who helps me program this locomotive. And to my surprise, he has time tonight. We will program it and then we can do a test drive. A couple of days later here, and this locomotive is fully programmed. My friend did an awesome job and you will see it later on when we do the test ride. But during that process, I've decided I want to build an additional weight since this locomotive is pretty light. And I've built this weight. It's a block of steel. It weighs 1.6 kg. It's probably a little bit heavy, but I can always cut something off and make it lighter. And this weight bracket will mount right where the old decoder was sitting previously. For transport, I didn't even bother putting in the screws, so we simply lift up the body of the locomotive. You have to be very careful about those hoses right here. They catch underneath this plate, and if you open it up, you will rip them off. The weight bracket will mount right here. Before I put the screws in, you can have a look underneath. Right here, the old circuit board with the decoder was placed, and I've reused those mounts to mount the steel plate. And now we can put in the screws. There we go. This weight is mounted absolutely rock solid inside this locomotive. I can even pick it up and nothing will happen. That's a good sign. The wires are properly rerouted down here and up to the main distribution clamp. But the main question will be, are we able to close this locomotive without any interference? Let's find out. Let's grab the upper body, turn it right side up, and then I use my hand to feed the main supply wire inside the locomotive at the right spot. And take care of this wire right here. And have a look at those hoses. Just like that. The locomotive closes up. Okay. This should be a done deal. I like it a lot. I will put in the screws and then we will see us in the garden when we do the test ride. This project is done.